Hey, welcome to Fabulous Friday, captive audience. I'm Sunny Danforth in Northeast Oregon, and I'll tell you, we are in the countdown to election time.
Yes,
And
we are. I'm David Darnell, and I'm in Southwest Oregon. Both of us exist outside of the Willamette Valley, where most of the people in Oregon live. Kind of weird, isn't it?
well, that is, I like living in a more rural, smaller community and more rural, frankly. I like that.
I do too. I do too. It's going to be a fun election, although I think for Oregon it's going to be a little bit non-climactic or unclimactic on election night. My guess is it's going to be close enough to where those votes that get counted for the additional week afterwards, per a law passed by Oregon Democrats, that we're just not going to know.
Yeah, and I've saw a post on Facebook that you're right. I think we aren't going to know. I pray that there's enough ballots turned in that we have a good feel for what's coming, by election night. But, time will tell, and this whole new week this will be the second election with the new law that ballots are counted for another week afterwards. Maybe there won't be so many ballots counted, or mailed in. I mean, not counted, but mailed in.
Yeah, hard to say, but it's if polling is any indication, it's pretty close. So either way, I don't think there's going to be much resolution for many races in Oregon. Probably not the majority of races, but for many races in Oregon, I think the resolution will not happen on election night. Unfortunately, hopefully Dick Morris and his predictions. I don't know if you're aware, but Dick Morris has the reputation for being the absolute kiss of death on predictions. Hopefully, his predictions of a cataclysmic red wave did not include Oregon, because if Dick Morris predicts a cataclysmic red wave, we're going to have a Democrat majority in Congress. So just watch out for that.
Oh, so actually, I'm posting his lunch alert there, and I did not hear it, but there we are. So for those, you can post, watch the lunch alert. And I don't know, I was not aware that he's the kiss of death too.
He might actually be worse at predicting election outcomes than I am. So, and I'm pretty bad.
I'm ever hopeful that what we've got going on here will, that we can flip this state and turn it around. Hey, you heard the big story of today that Nancy Pelosi's husband has got attacked with a hammer.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody came to his house looking for Nancy.
Yes, looking for Nancy, and he showed up. I don't know what all that noise is. I guess it's your phone.
Not mine.
No. Well, I don't know what that is. So I just posted, maybe it's something on mine and here, but it's not. I don't know what it is, David.
Do you have
sorry.
Do you have something playing in a browser? Because
No, not that I know of. It sounds like that's what I have.
It's kind of cool. Maybe we'll make that our new background.
Well, anyway, so we'll just move on, and hopefully I'll find this while we're talking here. But
it's got kind of a video game feel to it.
I don't know where it is.
It's repetitive. It's not very complicated. Made with electronic sounds not found in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what the what's the word I'm looking for here? The takeaway from Paul Pelosi getting attacked by somebody with a hammer is this: Nancy Pelosi is dangerous. Dangerous to the country, dangerous to be married to.
So I'm not finding this anywhere on my computer, but it sure sounds like I have something open, but I'm not finding it. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Pac-Man.
I like it.
So, the shame I heard tonight right before coming on that he took the hammer and this attacker came in and took the hammer away. He's just had surgery for a fractured skull, so this is not good.
Did he get drunk and fall down, or what?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. He got attacked with a hammer by a guy who wanted Nancy, and I don't wish that on anybody, at all. Truly, not at all. But anyway, there's lots more. I wish him well. It's too bad he didn't come with a gun. He could have just taken care of the guy. Quite frankly.
True. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think that. Do Democrats do that? Do they have guns? I know Nancy has a security.
Yeah, I know a few that have guns. I definitely know it's not just us Republicans that have guns. And
well, that's good to hear. Maybe 114 won't pass.
I pray it doesn't. That'll be disastrous for Oregon. And then know that Twitter, Elon has completed the purchase of Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, but I liked what I saw on his first tweets that he's the chief twit and the bird is free.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of interesting, the news that Twitter stock stopped trading and will be delisted on Monday. It's like, wow, man, that's a privately owned company now. And hopefully,
yes.
Well, I mean, Elon's a capitalist. He's not. He's certainly not a conservative by any stretch of the imagination, but he does believe in at least somewhat free market capitalism. Probably, spends millions of dollars lobbying the government for subsidies and regulation to put his competitors out of business, like most people with means do. But he's going to treat it like a business. I don't think whoever was running Twitter before treated it like a business. The biggest money maker on Twitter, without doubt, was Donald J. Trump, and they got rid of him. So that it doesn't sound like they're making good business decisions. It sounded to me like it was just an arm of the Democrat Party. And the Democrat media complex.
Yes, and so I agree with that. And he had, he's fired the top 4 people at Twitter day one. And I had read earlier today that he is having Tesla's engineers take a look at the code of Twitter. So that will be interesting. And so it's Monday that it's going private. Is that right? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, trading has stopped, obviously, on the stock because the stock has been purchased by, Elon and the financing he put together. So it's effectively a private company already.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are, excited that somehow, the left gets their just rewards because Elon, bought it and took it private and now has complete control over it. I think it'll be a better run business, a better run platform. But I don't expect, I don't know what I don't know what to expect. Twitter used to be a lot of fun. It was probably up until November of 2012. It was the funnest platform that there was. Much more fun than Facebook. But somewhere around 2012, the whole thing just kind of became unfun for a lot of people. A lot of people that I used to have fun on Twitter with. we all kind of just, I don't know, there was something about that loss, to Obama for his second term that just kind of soured everybody. But
Yeah,
Twitter has just turned into a crap. It's turned into the Portland of social media platforms in the last few
oh, how
years.
sad. I'm not
Yeah,
on Twitter, so I don't know.
yeah. Well, get yourself a Twitter account. You can follow along for all the fun.
No, thanks. No, no, no. I'm doing whatever I'm doing on social media. I have enough, and I have a life, a real life. you know. Hey, so did you hear too, speaking of technologies and social media and all of that? So Meta has been fined over $24 million for campaign finance violations.
Hmm.
And that happened in Washington State. And fined them $24.7 million for violating campaign finance disclosure law. And it is the maximum penalty allowed for more than 800,000 violations of the law. So, and this was a King County Superior Court Judge Douglas North issued the penalty on Wednesday. And that Meta violated Washington's 1972 Fair Campaign Practices Act. So, well, there you are. They donated a lot of money. Bobby says, "No, Sonny, you can't have a life outside of Facebook." Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, I'm happy that they're fined, quite frankly, for some of their campaign things, and hopefully they'll be even fined more as in by other states for what was done in the all the money that was given out that really had nothing to do with investments for the COVID, what do they call that, David? It was all the protective gear and things like that, that had to do with COVID, and it didn't have anything to do with that. It was for ballot boxes and other ways. But yes, Bobby, you're right. Oregon won't touch that fight, to say the least, at all.
Well, it's my understanding that the money that was given to counties, I guess, county election officials, maybe state election officials, was not Meta money. It was Zuckerberg's money. And so I'm not sure the two are connected. But the good news is Zuckerberg has lost 3/4 of his wealth in the last year. Meta, that owns Facebook and Instagram, probably some other companies too, has lost nearly 75% of its stock value since its high in, I think, September of 2021. So Phil Knight, who's become the knight in shining armor for Republicans in Oregon, is now richer than Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg's he peaked out at about $130 billion in wealth. Most of that is, of course, in Meta stock holdings, and is now down to 36 billion. So he's lost $100 billion in net worth in the last year.
Ouch.
Yeah, and
Ouch.
Facebook profits are down 50% in the last year. As a matter of fact, Zuckerberg lost $11 billion yesterday in value. Yeah.
Wow.
Yesterday is when Meta released their earnings, or more accurately, their lack of earnings. Right. And and the stock plummeted another 25% yesterday. So yeah, he's still pretty rich. I mean, $36 billion is still a lot of money if he were to sell his Meta stock. But he's putting all his eggs into the Meta or Meta or whatever you want to call it, virtual reality universe, the Meta universe. And I think he spent like more than $9 billion on that thing. So if that doesn't pay off for him, I would venture to say that Elon Musk could probably pick up Facebook and Instagram for a pretty cheap price.
Yeah, if he wants that, huh? If he wants that. It's we'll see what happens with Twitter now and with the reorganization of what's going to happen there. That I think that's going to shake up to be quite interesting. I saw that we're just going to have to see with that. Hey, I wanted to move on to some energy. We've talked about energy. That's not mine. That's on your end.
No, it's not.
What?
I said no, it's not.
No, it's not on my end. It went away. So I don't have anything else opened up that's doing that. So I just posted an article because about it's on from Fox Business that a coal mine demolished. This is in Germany. The German energy giant RWE has demolished a coal wind turbines so that a nearby wind turbine farm, and I don't know why they call them farms, they're industrial energy sites, in order to expand the coal mine for their energy. And I'm sorry about this noise. I don't know where it is coming from at all.
It's really bugging you, isn't it?
It is. And I don't know where it's coming from. I don't have anything that I can see that this is on. And it quit. And I figured you found it on your end.
No, it's not on my end. Uh, when I hit
I found
mute.
it.
Okay.
I found it.
What was it?
So it was this article that I'm talking about right now. It was in there playing. And so it's interesting, with the energy that's happening, the lack of energy because of Russia shutting off the supply line to Europe and Germany. So here you have Germany going, well, we're just going to dismantle a wind farm and so that we can expand a coal mine. And they're going, and so of course all of the green energy people are going, wait, you can't do that. And so this company RWE says, well, yes, we
Yes,
realize this is like paradoxical.
they're knocking them over with 100,000-pound excavator. They're saying, "Yes, we can do this."
Yes, we can. And so, and they're doing it because this
we
is
got
quite an old wind farm. They're
we
not
got all of
able
our tax breaks.
they're not able to generate the power that they need. And so they've got 5 more turbines they're going to dismantle by the end of next year because this coal plant, they need that energy. And these coal plants were actually they were expected to be shuttered by the end of next year. They were just put on hold in limbo, right? So they could actually fire them up quite quickly. So that's really going to help with the energy problems that Europe is going to be facing.
Well, Europe did it mostly to themselves, and I think the Germans really took the cake on the whole thing. So, I'm glad that there's enough elasticity within the German government to do what's right by their people, because the whole move, the whole green energy move was a move based on inaccurate everything
Right.
and unsustainable everything and extremely costly everything. And now that natural gas that they've been depending on from Russia has pretty much evaporated, it's funny how quickly they are to go ahead and just knock that crap down and start burning some coal.
Right. That old dirty coal,
Yeah. Or start cutting down the forest and making firewood. They've been doing that too.
They have been, and they're doing that in the Ukraine as well. And the thing is the when we have wind energy and solar energy, this is intermittent energy. It's not constant, it's not reliable. And the coal-fired plants are constant, they are reliable, and are easily ramped up and down for the consumption. And you cannot have in the line, and I'm talking to the choir here with you, because you being an electrician, you can't put the line, your power line and grid will only take so much power, and you need it to be reliable.
Yeah, you do. You need it to be constant. It's a fine balancing act for those that opt for grid operators. And the fact of the matter is not only is wind and solar intermittent. I mean, solar this time of the year is only 50% of the time. Pretty soon, not only is that, but it's extremely expensive, and the only way that it works is by, an intricate network of subsidies and taxes and all that kind of other stuff. I mean, nuclear is cheap, easy, predictable, clean. The worst thing they ever did was shut down their nuclear plants.
Yeah. And so, wanted to hit on the energy thing. And I see a comment from Bobby Richardson, don't do solar. And I was reading today that I got an email from FSEC, Energy Facility Siting Council here in Oregon, about a 300 and some odd acre solar farm that's going to be wanting to have, they're having hearings and they want public comment on this project that's going to be, it's not too far from me. And I just went, okay, I like getting the notices and I know that there's a lot of energy projects coming down the pike here in Umatilla County and Morrow County. And I try to pay attention to those. There's a group of us that try to pay attention to it. And this is, they just blew up the chimney for the coal-fired plant over at Boardman and shut down building the, the natural gas energy plant. And here we go. We're going to get this. And it's a terrible way to consume high-value farm ground and screw up the electrical grid.
Well, it is, and it costs everybody. It costs taxpayers. It doesn't cost.
There's nothing green and nothing free about it whatsoever.
No, it doesn't work. You
And,
want solar panels, get them on your house.
Yeah, they're best at point of view.
Stop making me and Sonny pay for your damn solar panels.
Hey, so I guess yesterday, Tucker Carlson, I haven't seen it, but I'm going to post this, that Tucker Carlson said the U.S. is about to run out of diesel fuel.
Right before Christmas, huh?
Well, this is where when you have Biden opening up, getting rid of our reserves, it is putting the rest of our nation in danger, quite frankly. It is. And so diesel fuel, that's a big darn deal. That's a real big deal. All the trucks, all the stuff that we get delivered.
Trains, all the trains run on diesel, all the trucks
Bobby
run on
says
diesel.
Costco's going to quit selling diesel. I didn't know that.
Really?
Wow.
Costco's going to quit selling diesel? Because
That's
they can't get
what Bobby just said. Well,
wow.
If you can't get it, I guess you can't get it.
Yeah.
Biden. We need to, so all of these types of things in the energy, it affects all of us. You can go, well, that's the president and what he's doing. Oh, no, it affects us all. And what the governor does in the state of Oregon also affects us and our energy, and the policy, the energy policy, because they're also, the governor appoints the heads of these departments, the DEQ and our Department of Energy and whatnot. And that plays a huge important role in what we've got going on here in Oregon. And quite frankly, if you want to have reliable energy, is another reason to elect Christine Drazen.
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
let's see.
It does not help in Oregon that the Democrat supermajority pushed through a huge fuel tax increase that increases incrementally over the next however many years. And while all of this has been going on, while our fuel prices have been going up, while fuel is maybe getting scarce, and while prices are rising for everything else, so are the taxes on our fuel. And then to really add insult to injury or salt in the wound, those fuel taxes, which are supposed to fund our highways and freeways and stuff, to add insult to injury and salt on the wound, now the freeways that we have paid to have built and maintained will be told we'll have an additional tax just to drive on those things. And of course, that will be a tax that will primarily affect lower income people who really can't, afford the extra $10 or whatever it is to drive 205. And it's just, I'll tell you what, it reminds me of a conversation I had with a kid at the corner grocery store there in Hubbard. I forget what started the conversation, but I think it was the price of cigarettes. And I told him that, they just raised the price $1, another tax, $1. And he said something about that. And he said something about the president. I said, the president didn't do that. I said, Democrats in Salem did that. And he goes, wow, man, that's really bad. And he said, poor people can't afford that like me. I said, are you poor? And he said, yeah. And I said, the Democrats hate you because they hate poor people. And I walked out.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Well, they're not helping, and you talk about the grocery store. I just posted a story here that, Biden is saying, well, you know what? People that are struggling to be able to afford to buy food, you need to just go get generic brands. Save money. So I just posted that story.
Generic potatoes.
Just go get the off-brand instead of buying, Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Go find some other kind of raisin bran. Save $1. He's so, when the average price of eggs in the U.S. has gone from $1.42 to now under $3 in this last month. That's the average price of eggs. Now I know you and Karen have got eggs at your house, right?
I do.
And
we sell them for $5.
There you go. $5 a dozen. They sell out every day.
They sell out every day. Yeah. Is it? Do you think it's? Can we just say it? Just go ahead and just make this known that Democrats, particularly in Oregon, just don't like poor people. I mean, they just hate poor people. They do whatever they can to bring more misery and more cost and more oppression upon poor people. I mean, they really do hate poor people. I felt like that needed to be said.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, they're not doing anything to help poor people by any means. They're not doing anything. And in fact, in the Oregonian, I just posted this story. Oregonians are worried about their finances. Only 12% say the economy is getting better. What 12% is that? That's the top 12%, Those are the ones that I don't know. I mean, I don't see where the economy is getting better anywhere. Somebody who's being gaslighted by the alphabet, media.
I don't either. I don't either. I went down a little rabbit hole when I was researching the claim that Zuckerberg lost $100 billion, which he has, as I said earlier. But while I was researching that, it took me to the Forbes real-time billionaire list. And so I clicked on many, I don't know, probably the top 15 or 20 billionaires, right? All of them, there's a little chart, history of their wealth. All of them have done much better in the last couple of years than they did previously, which I thought was weird. Yeah, which I thought was weird because, stock markets, I'm not sure what it's down. I'm out, so I don't pay that much attention, but it's down, I think, like 20% this year overall.
Right.
But yeah, they've all made significantly more money in the last couple of years since 2020 than they have previously.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, anybody that has a 401k, it's in the toilet,
Oh yeah, because they're
And
investment stocks.
yeah. And so that is interesting. The wealthiest are getting wealthier. The poor are getting poorer, and our middle class is getting eliminated.
Yeah, we're being
It
made
is.
poor.
And here in this article, it says on the personal finance situation, 64% of Oregon residents are very or somewhat worried about their own economic situation. 33% weren't worried. Well, so the majority live one paycheck away from being homeless
Oh
or
yeah,
in very, very, very much dire
yeah,
straits. And
yeah,
that's huge.
yeah. Yeah, the vast swath of America lives just one, two, maybe three paychecks away from absolute destitution.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. There's a lot of causes for that, I guess. And people don't have to live that way. I mean, a lot of people have figured out how not to live that way. But government makes it worse. I mean, government does not help anyone with a hand up. There's nothing the government does which helps people in America become more prosperous or more wealthy. Government at every turn and every juncture, with the exception of the deals made by those with large bags of money and government, to force regulation upon their competitors or what have you. With the exception of those people, government does nothing to help people. All
Right.
government really needs to do, and all I would like to see a Republican majority do, and I'd really love to see a Republican governor and Republican majority in Salem, in Oregon, just step out of the way and just let us do what we want to do.
Let private enterprise kick ass, because frankly, that's exactly what it would do.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you just stop the regulations and private enterprise just flourishes and everything gets better, quite
yeah,
and totally.
yeah.
So
That's what Reagan did when the economy was in the shit house when he got it from Carter. He got rid of as much regulation as he could, and we had during the I think it was the second term of Reagan's term, we had the largest economic expansion the U.S. had ever seen. And then when President Trump came into office, he did the same thing with regulation. He got rid of a lot of regulation, and
yeah.
our economy once again flourished. I mean, that's all you need to do. Stop confiscating our money, and stop. Get your thumb off of it. Get your boot off of our neck, and we won't be living one paycheck away from a crappy old motorhome on the side of Foster Road.
Yep. And so with all of this, it's going we're so close in the election that it's the race is tightening between Drazen and Kotek. You can forget about Betsy Johnson. She's not anywhere to there. She's not even mentioned anymore. But that the Democrats are pulling out all the stops to try to help Tina Kotek get elected. But GOP, the Republicans, are having an uptick in the forecast. And thankfully, Phil Knight, I thank you, Phil Knight, gave Christine Drazen another $500,000.
Nice.
And I'm really glad about that. And she actually has got I'm going to post that story. She's got about $1.5 million left. Christine Drazen does in her
Cash on hand.
account right now, and but there's a lot going
It's got
on,
about
and yet you've
600,000.
got other people are also like Microsoft billionaire Melinda Gates. She's donating to Kotek lesser money. So is the Chicago Cubs co-owner, lesser money. Like Melinda Gates gave it $10,000 and to Kotek. So that was a gesture for sure. So
Yeah, that's almost
the race is tightening up.
That's almost a slap in the face from Melinda Gates, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it is actually. But I wish she would have put the slap in the face over to Drazen,
That's
because
the kind of donation you get from Melinda Gates in a state without any campaign contribution limits for somebody you don't like.
right. And so Kotek got a $25,000 check from Laura Ricketts, who lists her occupation as co-owner of the Chicago Cubs. And but here we are, and her father was TD Ameritrade. Ricketts' father was TD Ameritrade, and he was a leading donor of former President Donald Trump.
Really?
But the daughter has been a long time Democrat donor and is given upwards of $250,000 to Joe Biden's inauguration. So there's, getting pressured to, hey, put some money out. Now, Kotek has got $677,000 on hand, and Drazen has 1.6 million. And
how about that?
Race,
how much does she have?
Pardon?
How much does Betsy have?
It doesn't say. Like I said, they're not talking about Betsy Johnson. In fact, why is she still in the race? I don't know.
Well, maybe
this is only talking about those two. This article.
maybe we should have the former GOP Senate leader and former chairman of the Oregon Republican Party, Herman Bartschiger, explain that to us, why she's still in the race.
Okay,
Yep, I just said that out loud, everybody.
Yes, you did. Yes, and and it's what a shame to have him supporting her.
Well,
former chair of the Republican Party.
Yeah. Right. The former, supposed leader of the GOP in the Oregon Senate. But here's the deal, it's one. What's going to happen is if Drazen wins, and if she does, it will be in large part to, I would imagine, draining Democrat votes into Betsy's column, right? If Betsy is successful, and I hope that she is, draining Republican or Democrat votes, and Drazen wins, these people are going to take a victory lap. But what doesn't make sense is going on the largest radio show in the Pacific Northwest and saying that Betsy Johnson is the only person that can win, because you have some sort of secret inside bullshit knowledge, which I know that you don't have.
Yeah.
Right. That's the part that makes me mad.
Yeah, I agree.
I know they're going to take a victory lap. See, I mean, how does a prominent Republican endorsing a vote splitter candidate, how does that make more Democrat votes go there? Someone explain that to me. Is it because, you have a large base of Democrat voters and the Democrats are just waiting for you, the prominent Republican, to tell them who to vote for? Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're spot on right there. And Lori says, if Betsy's votes go to Kotek, leave her there. Well, I totally agree with that sentiment. So you've got the last word there, David.
Well, I hope that Betsy's vote splitting operation, and I can only presume that's what it was, given the donor base and everything else. I hope it's successful, and I hope Drazen wins, because being down 300,000 votes, the vote splitting is the only way a Republican is going to win in Oregon. It's just math, So I hope that it works, but I still don't get prominent Republicans urging people to vote for the Democrat. I just don't see how that's ever helped or how it could help, or it just doesn't make sense.
I don't either. I don't either. And prominent Republicans should be all behind Christine Drazan and doing everything they can to help her win, in every facet, everywhere in Oregon. It is pulling out, it takes pulling out all the stops to help get her across the finish line. And we've got just over a week to make that happen, 100%. So everybody have a great weekend and share the message. And I see that we're now on Telegram as well. So we're launched to 4, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Telegram. And I love your comment there, Patty. Herman is prominent. Yeah, I hear that. Not in my viewpoint. And you guys all have and yes, I did say that. You guys all have a great weekend and do what you can for the candidates, and all, be it in your local races, our state race. We've got a lot of things are tightening up, and they need people door to door making phone calls, and even if a little bit of money, to whatever, $5 to a candidate here and there, it all adds up and can help.
I agree.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good weekend.